Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noel Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week, some brother Pedro. Hello, hello.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Pedro Ross, Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printing projects featuring all of the electronics from Adafruit.
Some of the electronics, maybe all of the electronics.
All of them.
This is a show where we combine 3D printing, DIY electronics, smash them together to make inspirational projects. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is episode 489, and it's July 2nd, 2025. Yes, we are hanging out in the Adafruit Discord server. If you'd like to join us throughout the show, say hello in the Discord server, which is not there. Hold on. There it is.
Sorry, I'm laughing that
Invite link. Yeah.
we were blaming AI, like Dropbox trying to implement AI. It's like, what do you need AI for? And then Anne posts a link in the Slack. Chuck E. Cheese now has a Chuckbot, AI Chuckbot.
All right. Chuck E. Cheese is getting in the AI game. Breaking news, everybody. Yeah. Beyond that, though, we want to welcome everybody a hello, good morning to the folks tuning in the Adafruit Discord server. The URL for that is discord.gg/Adafruit. We're also streaming.
I don't have mine loaded.
All right. Give you time while I do my
Where am I?
intro. Let's see. We are streaming on all the networks. If you'd like to say hello, we can bring in your chat, question, GIFs, memes, all that is good. We're streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and X this week. I want to give a shout out to squid.jpg. Good morning. Vince, also hanging out in the Discord server. And yeah, I'll go ahead and get the free stuff going on at adafruit.com/free. We'll get to the coupon code in just a moment, but let's highlight the 3 tiers for folks that are spending $99 or more on your order. You're going to get a free PCB coaster with a golden Adafruit logo. If your order is $149 or more, you get the PCB coaster plus the Adafruit KB2040, that lovely dev board featuring the RP2040 chip. And at the top tier at $199 or more, you get the PCB coaster, the KB2040, all free, plus free UPS ground shipping for continental US only. These automatically get added to your shopping cart, which is really nice. And while you're there, once you use our coupon code, you get 10% off your total order with today's coupon code, Pixel Magic. That'll get you 10% off your order. Just type it in the box there, and all physical goods will get will apply with Pixel Magic. And we thank everybody for their orders, keeping us in business. All right, let's switch gears. Big glowy project this week. We talked about it last week. It was Pedro's secret project. It's now published and available, and it's really fun. What is it, Pedro?
So this is the LED drone matrix. This is really a Pixel Magic tutorial showing how to do GIFs on a matrix display. So before we were using, I don't even remember the name now because it didn't do the animations, but it did allow you to grab custom images and GIFs to translate it into the, sorry, I think I drank too much coffee, the images that could be displayed on a matrix display. And then Liz did a quick Google search and found Pixel Magic tool, which allows you to convert GIFs into presets, which are frames that you can put into, assemble into a playlist to play back on your matrix display. And doesn't really look that good here, but I have a demo video that we shot. Let me see if I can get out of this screen and jump into, where did I put it? Right here. Yeah, here's what it looks like.
Whoa!
So here are some of the custom GIFs that we were able to put on to the matrix display. This is the 1x1 meter. So it's a 20 by 20. It's a 400 NeoPixels. And you're able to display all these awesome animated GIFs on there. So inside Pixel Magic, we'll do a little deep dive in a minute and show how to set up your custom frames, how to do timing on them so that each frame looks really good when you're animating it. So it doesn't spend too much time on a frame where it doesn't look like the image that it is. and then talk about a little bit of creating your custom ones. Know what, you did a bunch of these in Photoshop. I actually used Claude to create the three-eyed smiley face from Watchmen, and added randomization to it so that it is different every time it's displayed. And we'll show how to like back up your presets, and then some of the the caveats of using something that is not super buggy, but comes with some caveats on making sure you back up your presets. So here's what that looks like. And then I even got another one of what it looks like indoors too.
Hard to see.
And let's go back to the other one.
Yeah. It's great at a distance with a nice dark background. This LED net is meant for outdoor. It's literally called outdoor netting. Very nice. You were able to figure out how to get it powered by the DJI Mavic drone with the Sparkle Motion Mini, which is today's featured product. Check out the Adafruit Sparkle Motion Mini. It's a great WLED. All of this is running off of WLED. So you're combining custom animated GIFs with presets, effects from WLED, which go together really well into like this massive playlist. It's pretty cool. We really haven't played with creating custom GIFs through WLED. It's not like as easy as you would think, where you could just drag and drop. You can drag and drop with the Pixel Magic tool. That's what we're going to talk about.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
For folks that might remember this project, let me go to my screen because it's all about the same stuff. Where's my cam? This is 16 by 16 NeoPixel LED matrix running off of not the Sparkle Motion Mini, but the full Sparkle Motion. You can, of course, use the Sparkle Motion Mini. I just wanted to show what some of the animated GIFs from Pixel Magic tool look like. So here I have a little Adabot, and I also have a cool animated one here of the ghosts from the Pac-Man video game, which is animating here pretty nicely. So this is a custom GIF that I created, and I used the Pixel Magic tool in WLED to generate these JSON code. Yeah, the JSON code. And then we also have a heart that fades in and out, which is nice. And of course, the piece rainbow, which you can see kind of fading into different colors there. And again, this is a GIF that's been converted using Pixel Magic and playing through WLED. Cool.
Super cool. So you are able to, through Wi-Fi, it does create another net. The Sparkle Mini makes another Wi-Fi network that you can connect to. And then on your phone, you're able to scroll through and choose different GIFs to play while you're out to create a cool little nighttime show.
Yeah, Sparkle Motion Mini is in stock. Of course, it's a lovely dev board that really makes it easy to install WLED and connect NeoPixels, especially with a screw block terminal, which we're working on getting those in stock. But you can solder a Sparkle Motion Mini. I'm sorry, you can solder a screw block terminal to it. So at some point we'll have these in stock where they're just pre-made and it's easier to connect. You don't have to solder; you just kind of plug in the wire. Yep.
Those are shown there. Some of the other things, since we're already on the guide, that we're using the USB host. That's going to be able to convert or tell the Sparkle Motion to grab power off the drone. And then we're using the USB-A plugged to USB-C converter or adapter to have the Sparkle Motion be powered off of that. The other thing we're using is a garden stake. This is the 48-inch one. You can find this in your garden center. I just linked the Lowe's one. So we got. It's about like $4 or something. And you can trim it down to, I think it's 36 inches. Is that how big the net is?
That's funny.
Yep. So I grabbed two because I was going to use the another one on the bottom to sort of weigh it down, but it wasn't as windy as I thought it would, and definitely helps to keep the weight down as low as you can. I didn't put this in here, but in the previous project, we noted that the DJI Mavic Pro has a max payload of about 2 pounds. So we're keeping it under that.
Yep.
Let's see, where is, since we're already in the guide, I was going to continue.
Oh, well, it was my, there you go. Now you can drive.
I can drive it. Let's see what else. Of course, a nice big warning sign here that we assume that you are licensed and you're flying this in a non-restricted airspace, and that you know how to fly.
Yeah.
Especially if it gets gusty, you don't want to be depending on GPS mode. So being able to fly in attitude mode, you definitely need to learn how to fly. I had to have Brandy do all the filming because there was just no way that I could keep it stable. We did have a little bit of a windy day there. You can see the trees going. So I had to constantly make sure that I was centering in frame. So being able to fly when the elements are against you is a must. So don't try this if you don't know how to fly.
Yeah.
And then of course, as the rules state, in line of sight, eyesight, make sure that you can see what you're doing. So with all that out of the way, we'll jump into the 3D printing. Before, for this project, we were using like PLA to print everything, but with the heat and the weight, you can get the parts to deform. So all of this was printed in TPU, specifically the 95A. I think the AMS one from Bamboo is 60D because it is definitely more like rigid. There's no elasticity on it at all. So I definitely recommend that one. And I was able to do a good job in terms of for the clips, specifically for the clips, you're able to bend those back and then snap them onto the arms. And the reason we wanted that is so it could have a tight fit without being loose and then not having to worry about the PLA breaking when you snap them onto the arm. So it absolutely helped with that. The back legs also same thing. You can like squeeze the ends to sort of snap fit them into the existing little foot loops that are on the bottom of the drone. And these are specifically designed so they are out of the way of the sensors, so you're not messing with the avoidance sensors. So all of that is intact. Everything's modular, so you can take these off for like storage. You can put those on and off. And then we have the link here for all of the parts. So the drone, the back leg, the arm clips, back and front arm clips, the legs. You're definitely going to need to extend these so you have clearance for the nylon wire and the connection line for the matrix. And then we have the 3MF file. So everything's already laid out with the support material already attached. And the reason you need support material is because of the way that it's laid out, to make sure that it is the strongest when printing. So I have that labeled here, and we're just using the standard profile for the TPU AMS filament from Bamboo. So you can use that, but I added here what those are if you don't want to use the AMS. We're using a 15 millimeter infill, and then it's heated to, the bed is heated to 30C, and then the extruder to 230C. With the supports being tree support.
And how about the case? My lovely.
Oh yeah.
Case. It is not printed in TPU. It is just PLA.
Yep.
I'm glad that you're able to just use that because you can purchase it. We have made an update, and thank you for sharing the file. It now has a hole. It has a hole for the screw block terminal, which allows you to easily connect the wires from your NeoPixel strip or NeoPixel matrix. Got some labels on it as well, which makes it easy to
super handy because once you solder on the terminal block, it covers up what is what.
Yeah.
So thank you for adding that in there.
Of course.
And then of course be a cool explosion effect. How does that look like? Oh,
looks good. Yeah. So it fits the Sparkle Motion without any hardware. It just snap fits in. And it has those tabs on the side that are slotted, so you can really mount it to just about anything. So you were able to kind of adjust how you wanted it to mount.
Yes.
And we have a step file for it, so folks can modify that, make it bigger, smaller. It exposes the side ports, which is what, STEM QT and something else I forget. And it has some button pressers on the cover for the reset button. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
yeah. So the live hinge buttons that you can press.
yeah. It looks out of order because you're exploding it, but it looks
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it fits fine.
And of course, on Fusion 360 site, you can pick the format that you want to download it at. So
Yep.
STL, STEP, OGB, SketchUp, FBX. So all of those are there.
Yep.
Let's see, going back. Yep, absolutely. You're going to need that because that's how it's being mounted.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's PLA, so you're good.
That is PLA, although it would work with TPU.
Yeah, probably would. Yeah. All right.
The circuit diagram for this, super easy. You're just matching the already pre-cut, it's already tinned and everything, the connections from the matrix net. Just hooking up the, what is it here, the ground, the G input, the 33 pin on the Sparkle Motion board, and then 5 volt to 5 volt.
How did you find the wiring on the netting? Is it labeled properly, or did you have to guess?
Yes, it's labeled. Nope, yeah, I left the labels on there too.
Oh,
So
great.
right at the end of it tells you the V plus, V negative, and then the center
That's
one
great,
is
'cause
input.
sometimes our strips don't have.
Yeah,
I noticed the
nope,
dots
luckily,
don't.
yep, nope, they're luckily labeled. You can kind of see here the tab little hanging out on the side.
Oh, okay.
So if you get one of the boards without the terminal, I just use Kapton tape to adhere it while soldering to the bottom.
Okay.
Just make sure that the inputs is facing out. I should have wrote that in there. But I've done that.
It's
Soldered it, or actually no, I taped it the wrong way, and right before I started soldering, I was
Oh
like,
my
whoa,
gosh.
whoa, whoa.
Sucks.
Yeah. So definitely watch out for that. I need to put like a warning sign there.
Okay.
So, but hopefully we have them in stock by then.
Mhm.
Power is using the USB host cable. It's the micro mini port, and that is the connection that's on the drone itself. I don't know what this is like supposed to be officially used for, but luckily we're able to grab juice off this to power the Sparkle Motion.
Yeah.
And like we said before, we're using that USB-A to USB-C adapter to have it power. Otherwise, it will not power. I don't know why you need the OTG cable for that to work, but that's how it is going.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't remember what it was for. Maybe for like updating firmware or something.
Yeah, interesting.
Let's see. Mirrored in the WLED software setup page from the main guide for the Sparkle Motion boards. So you want to download the zip here. I just used the on circuitpython.org/downloads. There is a web installer, not shown here, probably shown like in the main guide for this. And that's what I'm using to do the full install. So it'll erase your board and it'll install the latest update for it.
Okay.
From there, head on over to install.wled.me, and that will walk you through installing the WLED software. The thing that caught me up is I've installed this before, and usually there is a little window that pops up to set you up to set your Wi-Fi network up, but it doesn't pop up anymore. So you have to manually go to the little Wi-Fi network that it creates. It's a WLED-AP, and you can just find that in your network or your Wi-Fi network when you're like searching.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing that tripped me up. And then the default password is listed here.
Yep.
And then you can install your setup from there. And then it will... So you can go through and set up your LEDs, which don't listen to this one. This one is for like something else. Go to the next page. This will actually show you the custom
covering like an overview of like what you want to look for.
Yeah. Yep. But here's the actual ones that you want to use for the 20
this is if you're using the net, the 20 by 20 NeoPixel matrix net. It's very specific
for this one. So this one is not mirrored in. I copied it in and then edited all of the settings for this. Again, for the 20 by 20, that's 400 pixels. We're doing the little drop down for selection for the type. It's the WS281X. And then for the milliamp hours for the LEDs, drop that down to 35 amps. The Echo WS2812. And that's just to save power, to give you as much flight time as you can from the drone, since the drone is now using the power for flight and for powering the pretty hungry LEDs, 400 of them. And then GPIO pin 33.
Maybe call out the color order because it's.
Oh, that's next. It's in here.
No, it's above. Right under.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. The default is GRB.
Yep.
The one that you need to do though is RGB though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely be aware of that. When I was setting up the heart animation where it's all red, it was turning out all green. So if you have any issues with any of those colors, like say if the manufacturer switches the order for this again, just look out for that color order.
Yeah.
So it'll drop down. You can change. Let's see, for the 2D configuration, for the panel layout, first LED is going to be the top left, and then the orientation is going to be vertical, and that's so that the where I'm going to say where the top part of the matrix is where these like big little boxes are at the top.
Are those clips for like attachments?
They're little hooks.
They're hooks. There you go.
They're little loops, not like a hook, but like a little circle that you can attach clips or something to. And then serpentine is set to off. Dimensions are the 20 by 20.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into setting up the presets for this. So we're going to use Pixel Magic tool to create all of our GIFs. You can head over to their GitHub and download the zip that contains the HTML file. And this is something that we didn't know about. You can look at the files that are loaded on the Sparkle Motion board, like directory that WLED creates by going to whatever your custom local name is /edit, and it allows you to upload files.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll add our HTML file for PixMagic. Once that is loaded up, you can go to that web page to load the custom UI for that.
Yeah.
And I'll demo it after the guide. But that's where you can upload all of your, or load the UI that can convert all your GIFs. So if you don't want to go through all that, you just want to load up all of the preset animations that we have in this demo, you can do that here. You just download that JSON and upload that to that directory.
Just be aware, it will replace anything you have in terms of presets or playlists. So make sure you either back that up or start with a fresh install. Yeah.
If you want to create your own, you can go right to the UI and here's some of the settings that we're using. So the brightness, I dropped that down to 80, again, to save power. Enable animation, transparent image, and then resize image. It's just little slides you can click to enable. And then set the width to 20 by 20, and you can drag and drop your GIFs to preview to see what that's going to look like. If you're happy with that, save it and give it a minute. It'll take a little bit. You'll see like a little a dialog box down at the bottom right when it's done saving. I recommend keeping the frame size down to like 5. No, you were able to do like up to 12 different frames.
Yeah, I was able to do 12. It took a minute. It's asking for a lot.
It will take a little bit of time, like a minute or so, to export. Each frame is saved as a preset, and then those presets are all grouped into a playlist that you create so that they can all play in order.
Yep.
So we'll tap on the plus playlist button and then add each preset from there.
Yep.
And then as I show here, this is what that's going to look like. So take the smiley, for instance. You'll add the playlist, and then you'll keep clicking on the plus button to keep adding a preset into the playlist. And inside there, you can set the duration for each frame. So as you can see here, some frames are 8 seconds long, some are 4. And then specifically, it's timing. So when you're playing back, you can see what needs to be on the matrix longer than the other ones. Specifically for the smiley one, it's this the 8-second frame is when all of the eyes are open. So I want to really have that, to show that it's, an eye or 3 eyes on the smiley face. And then the rest are all of the eyes blinking. And because it's an eye blinking, you could set that to randomize by selecting the shuffle option here, and that will play different every single time. So it's all randomly going to be blinking all 3 of the eyes, which definitely gives it some customization when you're playing back. You'll never see the same playlist for that twice. You can set it here to repeat. I just set it down to 5. And again, this is all timing for however your playlist is set up. And to have it continue going to another playlist, you can set what your end preset would be here. So for this one, I just have it going to another one, which is the heart. And then inside the heart playlist, I would have it go to another one. So it's always continuously looping through all of your playlists that contain your presets.
Yeah, this is really cool. I didn't know that end preset would allow you to kind of play the next preset and you choose which preset. And that way you can string together playlists. I really didn't know that was a feature, and it's right there.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then here you can see how all of my playlists are set up. We have the main drone one, which is going to be all of the default ones that you can select over here that come installed with WLED. So I just looked through those to see what looked good on the display. And then from there, I go to the eyeball, the heart, peace sign, smiley, and the star. And then the second stroke of the square here that's outlined shows that each frame is going to display on here. So you're just going to have a long list of it. So definitely try to keep it down to like, 3 to 5, 12's definitely a lot. But you can go in there and choose. We just use Photoshop to look at each frame to discard any of the ones that are, like repeats or ones that, you don't really need. So you definitely have to be choosy and picky on what's going to make the animation ultimately look good on your display.
Yep.
And then that's the other thing too. Choose things like transitions too, so it's not abruptly cutting to the next thing, so it can like sort of fade into the next transition. So there's lots of playing with timing and the look of the your playlist.
Yeah.
Let's see, moving on to assembling. Once you get all that set up, that's definitely going to take a while to get all your timing right. So if you want to download that playlist that we use for the demo, please do, because that one we did spend like a week or something setting all that up.
Yeah, well, learning about the sort of limitations of the of Pixel Magic, where it tends to definitely don't do more than 24 or 12 frames, and then the other thing is like you can't really make it go 0.1 second. So trying to get like the fastest animated GIF, you just can't. The lowest we were able to get it to is 0.2 seconds. That's each frame. Yeah, 0.2 seconds. Anything less than that, and it just won't work. And sometimes it'll crash. The WLED instance will just crash, and you need to refresh. You need to restart the board. So we ran into so many different things trying to really push Pixel Magic to like just give us the fastest frames, give us the most frames. But you just gotta like be patient with it and like just kind of like, okay, I'm not gonna get the fastest GIF with like 100 frames. So yeah, keep it very minimum. Just a few frames, no more than 12. And
I say no more than 5.
More than 5, yeah. I'm amazed that I was able
especially
to
if
get
you
12.
have a ton of different GIFs like that. Is you're gonna keep scrolling and scrolling.
Exactly. Yep. And then it's like you can't delete all of them easily. You have to manually delete one by one the preset, which is really a frame of the animated GIF. So we learned a lot of this stuff, and there's only one way to learn is to keep trying it out. But at least it's like easy enough, and it doesn't seem to be too hard fault when it does fail.
Definitely patience is a virtue here, because at one point after each save that it did, it would tell me to re-upload my preset, like a saved preset. I don't know how WLED is keeping like a saved preset, and it keeps asking to like reload it. After each little change that I would do, I was like, oh no, this is it. My whole thing is done.
I ran into the same thing where it was like, oh no, what have I done? All my
Mhm.
presets are trashed. But thankfully, sometimes you're able to save it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll do another deep dive, but let's continue on with the guide. Go ahead and
See, moving on to the assembly,
there you
talk
go.
about assembly of the mini Sparkle Motion. If you get the one without the terminal block, if you get one with it, and be off to go set that up quicker. It's just a snap fit case. Just align the terminal cutouts to the terminal itself, and then snap that in. We're using the M25 by 8mm long screws in the tabs on the side to connect to the screw mounts on the back leg. Those squeeze in like we were saying before. That's why we're using the TPU here. You're able to squeeze the ends to fit those little tabs into the loops. The existing feet, they're on the back there. Set up your micro USB host cable with the adapter, and then plug that in. Look like that. And the cable that we have in stock is just long enough to reach with the adapter. So thankfully, we don't have like another long cable dangling down. It's like just the right size for that. The front legs attach, just align the little triangular shape that the feet have, specifically for the Mavic Pro. I don't know what the latest drones are. I think maybe the Mavic 3 or 4. I don't know. When we do this, 2019.
Yeah,
So
I'm actually looking
definitely.
what's going on with like the
What
latest.
is the latest? I kept meaning to do that too, but this one works. I mean, it has 4K. It's so small and compact. Like, I haven't really needed another drone since then. I
Yeah,
think the other one that we got was like the Spark, the DJI Spark. I
yeah,
think you have that
I
one.
do
That
have
one's
that one,
smaller.
yes, but it
They have
doesn't
like
have the
you can
power.
launch it off your hand, so it's definitely not going to have the payload that this one has.
Exactly, yeah.
I think they added the hand gestures to this one, like in one of the latest software updates. But I after a while we just stopped flying. Like
Yeah,
remember
the
there was such a hype
fad went away.
when they came up. Yeah, or like every other, like even Time Lapse Tuesday project video was like a drone part to print. It was like battery clips and like the claw and like
Yeah, I guess the Mavic 3 Pro is their latest. I'm on their website here. There's a Mavic 2, the Mavic Pro, the Mavic Pro Platinum.
oh wow.
The
None of
Mavic
them look like this one. Or I don't know. You can't tell really what the leg
I can't
design looks
tell,
like. Huh?
yeah,
I don't know. We don't have a need for it.
I know.
If this one didn't work, we would have purchased another one. But
Yeah,
thankfully, this one works just fine. The only thing that failed on it was one of the batteries. I saw it was like a battery error, so I'm down to just 2 batteries, which is still like a half hour of flying.
right.
So you are able to edit the sketches for the design for this if you need, if you have a newer drone and the legs are different. You can definitely piggyback off of that for the tolerances, which again are set up for TPU. So it will be a little bit more tighter just because you are able to bend those back, like the arm clips. You have a front arm clip and a back arm clip, and these are trapezoidal. So they do have like that trapezoidal design. So it's like slanted at one part, so it does go fit in at a specific angle. Just look at whatever the angle is, and those clip on. Just make sure the little loops are facing downward, and that's what the nylon string is going to sort of hook into. Preparing the LED net. At first, I was going to make like a bunch of little like a shower curtain clip, but then I was like, oh no, they're going to slide around if I do something like that. So this is simple with the garden stake. Again, you buy it as a 48-inch stake, cut it down to 36 inches wide, and then we're just sort of what is it? What's it called? The thing you do.
What's up?
That netting.
What?
How you string the stake through. It's like up and over. So
Oh,
just,
you're doing like a zip stitch or something?
yeah. It's
Okay.
trying to make what's it called? The thing that Liz does it. The netting
Crochet?
crocheting, yeah. It's like a
The
crochet or
netting? The
something.
knitting? You mean knitting?
Knitting, yeah. So you're just freaking going up and over.
I was looking at just the amount of like I'm on DJI's website while you're
Oh, I
talking.
know.
I'm
It's
like,
so many,
what
man.
drone is this? The classic? Is this the platinum? What's
They
going on
have
there?
so many
There's so many, and it's like,
levels of them, like from
yeah,
the smallest to the the industrial one that has like the freaking the crop
yeah,
sprayers
yeah. Well,
attached to
just
it.
in terms like the umbrella of the Mavic, there's like just
Oh
5
my god.
different ones,
I haven't looked at it.
and
I'm
you
glad I
maybe you can find one on they sell them on Amazon, and maybe you
I
can
would
find the 2016 Mavic
yeah.
Pro, for like $500 or something.
Something I'm still in the groups for DJI, and one thing I would advise away from is do not buy a used one, an old one, because
Oh,
supposedly those won't even take off because they'll be
yeah.
registered to someone else.
Oh, that's interesting.
So do
Okay.
not
Good
buy
tip.
a used drone,
Go and buy a used DJI drone.
a new one that hasn't been registered yet.
Yeah.
They
Like
won't
I
let
said,
all
you can get
anything
one
off.
on Amazon, which is fine.
I don't remember what this one cost. It was like I have to
Yeah,
look at
you can't buy it from DJI's website anymore. They only sell their newest ones.
Oh
So
yeah,
whatever you're buying it from, B&H or whoever, it's like, they'll have a new one that's just been in stock forever. Yeah.
let's see. Down to the nylon fishing string. Cut that down to 34 inches. And then you're going to tie each side to each end of the guarding stake. And then you're just going to loop that back into the clips. So those just get inserted from the little cutouts that you have on the wire like that. And then those get strung into each clip like this. So they'll fit in like that, and those should auto with the weight. They should auto stabilize from that because they're able to slide across the hook.
Yeah.
And that is pretty much it.
Yep.
That is how it is attached. We do have like how to fly the matrix here, just like the pre-check. Make sure you lay the drone behind it. For me, it's easier to fly, from it looking from the back. So, left is left, right is right, instead of it looking from the front where left is right, right is left. Unless you know how to fly inverted.
Right.
So you can do that. Oh yeah, have it taut. Make sure the string is taut. Make sure don't have it loose so when the blades start up, it doesn't get caught up in there. And then take off slowly. So slowly ascend to have it, to keep its taut. So there's no slack when you're lifting the matrix into the air. And then just watch out for gust and wind. Obviously, make sure you know how to fly in attitude mode, so you're able to counteract if it starts drifting on you. And then when landing, just land slowly again, descend slowly. So as the bottom of the net touches, you start going forward and descending. So you're laying it back out naturally as you descend.
Okay.
And that is pretty much it. That is how to fly your super cool matrix display. We're going to have this out for the 4th of July here at a little neighborhood gathering. Put up a little show while the fireworks are going in the background for the Omni.
Yeah. What a cool way to make like a show. Like low kind of effort to do like this drone air show where kind of anybody can do it. Anyone who has a drone and is a pilot and all that. It's pretty cool. It looks really cool. I wish I could see it in person, but I can just tell that it looks really magical in the air, even if it's just one, 20 by 20.
Yeah. I was saying to PT when we were setting this up and it actually worked, we were all super amazed.
Yeah.
Declan, who has never seen us fly the drone,
Yeah.
let alone seen a freaking LED matrix attached to it, was just, his mind was blown. Like, holy
Mhm.
crap, he didn't even know we had drones.
Yeah,
I
it's like,
showed him
what?
all the
You can
past drones
fly
that
a
were
thing in the sky?
so for him, it was
Yeah.
just like, what?
First time seeing a drone, yeah.
Seeing how
Yeah.
they're going with the animations, he saw me setting all the animations up, and then seeing it fly in the sky. It's so cool because it looks bigger than it does,
It does,
in
yeah.
the video, like when you're there,
Yeah, it kinda
flying up in the sky, it's
Mhm.
as wide as you. So
Yeah, I mean, a meter by a meter is pretty big, even
yeah,
when you're
it's three
flying it,
feet,
so
3 feet
how
by
high
3
do you
feet.
think you flow? Like, is it like, I don't know, maybe like
Above,
20, 30
I
feet?
mean, two stories above 2 stories of the
Okay,
house. That's how high these images are here.
okay,
A little above the 2 story
yeah.
the houses in the neighborhood.
It's
And
amazing that the sensors don't get tripped up with
it's
the
far enough.
net, right?
Yeah,
Right
no,
underneath
it's
it. It's
far
far
enough.
enough, right? It's not like
And it's thin enough because remember, these sensors don't work if you get
right.
close to power lines. It's not going to sense, any
Oh,
of
right,
that. So
yeah.
even the latest drone probably isn't going to be able to sense that.
Yeah.
It's so
So it's like
thin.
the perfect, like, size, thinness, distance
That's why
away
it's
from
working.
the obstacle avoidance sensors, which is probably just like, I don't know, ultrasonic sensors.
Yeah. Yep. It is.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. We're very surprised that it works. I mean, I assumed that it would just be fluttering crazy because of the wind from the
Mhm.
propellers would just like make it unstable. But no,
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
at it, it's pretty stable as long
Yep.
as you have some good weather and not too much wind and you know how to fly properly.
Mhm.
This actually works. Otherwise, you can just uh, do what I got going on here with this.
Oh yeah.
You can just get a regular
I
NeoPixel matrix
I know
and
you told me how to edit the scrolling text, but I just ran out of time. I didn't.
I ran out of time too. So we got a
But I wanted
question
to
here
have.
from Go Figure. Can it do text? Is this WLED? There's some default text in here, and this is just called scrolling text. I think you can do some magic with the JSON API code where you can tell it what text you want, but by default it'll just tell you the date, which is cool. But that you can look it up, and there's some documentation in WLED how to do custom text scrolling like this. And if I share my screen or my web page and also this, you can see here are the settings for the scrolling text matrix effect, and you can change the speed, the offsets, the trail if you want to trail, the font size if you want it bigger or smaller. Let's see what's the biggest. There you go. And then you can rotate it. And then I think the color is just like default rainbow. I think you can do like a random cycle of colors. Yeah. Let me turn off that trail. I don't like that trail. So yeah, you have some options here. Where did the trail? There it is, trail. Turn that off, and then you can see in the here that it's bigger text and it's just scrolling. So yeah, so you can do text. It's WLED. Yeah, but we're mainly focusing on the Pixel Magic stuff here. So I got Pixel Magic loaded here. Here's my little Adabot, which you can actually find on the Adafruit Learn system. We have little images. Let's do Blinka. So I'll import Blinka here. I think by default it'll pick whatever matrix you have. So mine's a 16 by 16. I'm okay with power, so I'm just leaving brightness in the middle. You want to set your preset name, so I'll put Blinka here. I leave this as default, the pattern. I actually haven't really played with that. Have you played with that?
I have not.
Yeah, and then segment. If you have like a crazy arrangement of segments, you can specify a segment. That's where you can segment a portion of your NeoPixel strip or display. In this, I just have one because it's just one display, one NeoPixel matrix. I can turn off transparent image if I want. This is not an animation; it's just a single ping image. I think it is transparent, so I do have that turned on, and then you can specify what color do you want your transparency to be. So I want it to be black because I just want it to be fading into the thing, and I don't want to resize the image, or maybe I do. Yeah, put resize and leave it at 60 by 16. Then when we click generate, this is really cool. The actual preview, and these numbers just show you what pixel number it is. So if you have like a problem, you can specify what number of pixel. This is 16 by 16, so of course there's 256 pixels. And then here's the JSON code that you can either copy or or just hit save, and that'll actually apply that. We'll save this as a preset because it's just one image. So let me hit simulate, and you should see. Oh, sometimes it does this where it's best to turn off your WLED, like using the off power button here, and then go back to your Pixel Magic tab and then hit simulate. Oh, it's still doing it.
Yeah, there's
yeah.
always
So one workaround is if you just like click on a default effect and then hit simulate, there it goes. There's just these little weird.
There's always little workarounds you got to figure out.
There's just these little weird things.
Show
Yeah.
this by Aaron, squid.jpg, saying that yes, you can do custom text in WLED by changing the name of the segment in the scrolling text.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I could have swore I tried that and it didn't work. But again, it could have been some of the bugginess with it not properly processing the instruction or something.
Yeah, let me try a 3D Hangouts. And we'll hit OK. Okay, now let's try scrolling text.
I was going into they're looking for it in the JSON code that it generates. I was like, oh, this isn't working.
Oh.
And then as you see here, it doesn't save.
Yeah, it's not saving it.
Pixel Magic tool, where is that located? Is in the guide. Let me grab the link for you. It's at a GitHub.
There it is, 3D Hangouts. I got it going. Yep, so just changes the name of the segment. And it took me maybe 2 tries. But yeah, you can get custom text going in there. I don't know how much text, but doing 3D Hangouts, which is great. Yep, just do a search too. But there's the direct link on github.com/ajotanic Pixel Magic Tool.
Here is it's right here.
Text, scrolling text on WLED, secrets revealed. That's the AI clip generated title. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We're learning stuff every time we do like a new WLED project. We're learning so much new stuff to it. Had no idea how to do pixel art and GIFs or scrolling text, and we're just learning how. Another thing we learned how to do is how to actually back up your JSON playlist. So if I switch over into my browser here, here's the local host custom name for my WLED install. And if I go /edit, there's the browser, and you can go to your presets.json. It's just one long string of code, but you can right click, download, and now you've downloaded your preset as a backup. And that's really cool. And then you can upload files here. This is where you would upload the pixelmagic.html or .htm. Yeah, and we'll give a shout out to gifplayer.htm. We gave that a try, and we just couldn't get that to work. But Pixel Magic, that one worked really well. Let me simulate Blinka again. And yeah, I think it'll be cool to make a little animated GIF of Blinka. I know we have a sprite sheet that Liz did when she did the Blinka jump game, so I might make that into a where she like slithers her neck like that. That'll be kind of cool. Yeah, it's a lot of fun creating
so cool,
GIFs and just static images too. Works probably really well. And look at this eyeball, huh?
I was trying to show mine just to continue going out. I have to remove this.
Love the star. That one's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one came out really good.
This will be quicker if I just go to it on this tab.
Yeah, right.
Just to show how the doing randomization of like the eyeball, you can see here when it's looking right at you, it's 5 seconds. Actually, no, it must be the star one. Whoa, did I do that?
What's up?
Oh, just how it zoomed up on it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, shuffle. That's all it is. Shuffle. So there's always a randomness to the eyeball effect.
Yeah.
I think what I was trying to show is the star. How each frame is different, or
different duration. Yeah. Okay.
Durations for it. So 4 seconds when it's front on, and when it's spinning, it doesn't look like anything at all. It just looks like a vertical line.
Oh, and you set a a hard coded repeat. You only want it to repeat 5 times. That's cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Because
Very clever use of a little playlist, shuffle repeats and then end preset.
Yeah, with a different
great way to do it. I've never done that, so
that's definitely how to do it. Because before I was doing, just stacking these to make it longer, I would, duplicate the frame or just add more to it, which that's not the way to do it.
Yep.
Since there's already enough of this stuff to scroll by.
Yeah, it took me a little bit too to understand the difference between a preset and a playlist. I think the way I kind of get is the preset is just one frame of your animated GIF, and the playlist is like the grouping of the presets. That one looks really cool. So you're doing peak here, which is a built-in setting in WLED that lets you preview your effects or your animations without having to look at your matrix, because maybe your matrix is somewhere else and you just want to like edit it. So this is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to show.
Yeah. I was thinking too, like earlier in the morning, I was like, what if I combined 4 16 by 16 pixel things to do like a cube, like a 4-sided cube.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like 3-dimensional. And then it got me thinking, like, I don't know, that'd be a cool project, but what is that, like 1024 pixels,
yeah.
which I think I can do. I WLED can do that.
I should be able to.
Yeah, but then like I don't know how I would display it as a chandelier or something. Like, yeah. But yeah, there you go. Flying your WLED. Can you fly WLED display?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yep. Again, try it out. Super cool. This is gonna go up. I got to figure out where to hang this up on a wall.
Yeah, maybe on the window or something.
Oh yeah.
Looking out your window. Yeah.
Great for like Halloween decorations.
Oh, it'd be so great. Yeah. So the next, I think Halloween is the next big one, and it'll be cool to have like little ghosts and bats and stuff like that. Yeah, 1 by 1 meter.
Super cool.
That's 1,000 millimeters. Or no, is it 1,000 millimeters?
It's 3 feet.
Yeah, 1,000 millimeters. You said it's 3 feet,
right?
Yeah, 3.2 feet. So that's pretty big. Yeah. Cool. But I think
people that address too is, man, we had to work late nights to get this to work because I don't want to say I wasted, but we tried for a whole day and whole night to try to do this in CircuitPython. And I was sitting there with Claude until like 2 a.m. trying to get this to work. And I only bring it up because Squid does this. What if you could do this in CircuitPython? I wonder how much work it is to get multiple GIFs on an animated NeoPixel display. The best that I was able to do that Claude was able to do, because I didn't do anything. I was just trying to guide it. Was get like a sweep to go, like animated sweep to go through. And man, it really tried. But I was using the CircuitPython code editor, the web editor, and it just had so many syntax errors that I had to keep telling Claude, hey, your line 32, line 45, there's always syntax errors or indentation. So there was even problems with the way that I was copying and pasting it because I'm on the Mac.
Yep. Yeah, I ran into all those issues too, man. Like I said, one of the things that makes it easier is like when you're creating your frames from your animated GIF, you want to turn off your WLED using that power button in the WLED interface, just so that it's not like running through playlists and then trying to generate this frame, because Pixel Magic's trying to push that out while it's playing an image, and it can crash or it can corrupt your JSON playlist, and you'll have to restore it. That's happened to me.
I used a completely separate board that had just CircuitPython installed. So I didn't want to mess with this. Once I had it all set, I put it to the side, grabbed a new board, installed just CircuitPython on it.
Yeah.
Was trying it that way. So there was no overwriting of anything.
Another thing to note is like GIF is for like CircuitPython's display IO library. Display IO does not work on a NeoPixel display because it's not the same display.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I
So,
told Claude, one of the first things was, hey, can you port this? Here's a reference. Port this to here's a reference of what the
oh yeah,
a project in Sparkle Motion is. So I went that route as well to begin.
yeah,
Trying
yeah,
to port that over, but it's maybe it's the code editor. It's not.
yeah. There's it's called
And
Pixel Buff. Is the oh, I can't find it now. Pixel Buff. It's supposed to be. Is it NeoPixel Circuit
you mean to
Python?
tell me this code editor is super picky. You should try VS Code or Bonnie.
Huh. I can't find it now. I'm searching for the Pixel Buff learn guide, and I just can't find it now.
It really tried. I was surprised too when I was feeding it the GIFs to try to convert. Claude knew, oh, this is a Mario star.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is Mega Man. Oh, this is a Yoshi. And then the response it would give you back when it was trying was like, oh, here, try this one. This should add a cool 8-bit Nintendo effect to your Matrix display. So I was like, oh wow, how does it know what each thing is?
Yeah, finally, I found it. It's a guy by Melissa. Easy NeoPixel graphics with the CircuitPython Pixel Frame Buff library. And in her demo, it shows you how you can do kind of scrolling text.
Huh.
So if you're interested in checking it out, give it a shot.
Nice.
Again, I was able to kind of manual. I guess Claude could do it pretty good because look how it's like each.
Yeah, that's how the code looks. It's pretty compact.
Yeah,
like I was amazed that it could do that at least.
Yeah, a fill rect, which is like to make a solid rectangle. Here's what you do: text with frame buff dot text high, and then you specify what the color and the X and Y position. Yeah.
Nope, that's what Claude was
And
doing.
then this sounds really cool, image drawing, but this is of course with desktop Python, which uses what? The Pillow library? Yeah, the Pill image library, which doesn't work in CircuitPython. So it's like if you're doing a Raspberry Pi. Yeah, look at this. This is cool. So if you had, Raspberry Pi running your NeoPixel matrix, you can tell it to just like make this an image and turn it into NeoPixel code. So there's some options. It's kind of a lot of work is you got to put a lot of work into your image here. We tried to stick with WLED, and we were so glad that some smart fellow created Pixel Magic Tool, and this is what we want. An easy way to convert any image.
Definitely made the project whole, because otherwise it's just like some clips for drone fly.
Right, exactly. Like, oh, we flew a drone and there's a NeoPixel. Yeah, we really like that this is more about like how to use the Pixel Magic tool. And with that, Pixel Magic is the coupon code. So if you want to pick up a NeoPixel display or Sparkle Motion Mini, please use our coupon code. It'll get you 10% off your order. It's good for the next 24 hours.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's
all right.
The whole
that's
show.
Gonna be the whole show, folks. We really wanted to do a deep dive and just talk about all of our findings with Pixel Magic, WLED, Sparkle Motion, and all the good stuff. So give it a shot. We'd love to see folks custom animated GIFs, memes. So if anyone has any questions last minute, drop them in any of the chats. We'll bring them in.
So for Community Makes, I think it's still simple. It's just the dragon skull comb. I was gonna put this on a wig for the hero shop, but the wigs were all natted and it blended in. Like there was this gray one that Brandy has, but of course it blends in with the gray.
Oh, that's funny.
So I just put it on the freaking pan of ice to hold up.
Yeah.
Works as a dog scratching comb because
it's a back scratch
weight that it has on with the horns on the front here weigh it down so it falls off. So I can even have Brandy put it in their ponytail; it would just fall off. But super cool designs. It's part of like a set, a dragon comb set, and
It's a free download on
Is
Maker World. This was designed by Aleandrus, Aleandrus, and they have a lot of different skull shapes.
yeah,
It's really cool. I like the white. It's a
I
good
see that spirit. What is the Halloween store?
Here's a.
That's what I was trying to do.
Here.
Maybe if I
very
need
cool.
bigger.
That is really cool. Yeah. You didn't scale it or anything? Just regular
No.
PLA?
Yeah, it's regular PLA.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the shot I wanted right there.
I know. Thank goodness
Good
for
job.
people's makes and posting. Oh, look at the weathering.
Oh, cool.
Bloody teeth. Love bloody
Wow.
teeth. It's a dragon, of course.
Yeah, so Spirit Halloween is already taken over the closed Joanne fabric stores.
Oh, really?
I think the post was like
Halloween starts in July.
Yeah.
It has started in July for several years. What's your diffuser on your grid?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I have a learn guide for you. Type in square pixel. And it is a piece of black LED acrylic, which is a special acrylic that has magical properties that allows light and the color of the light to shine through, but when it turns off, it's not see-through. And that's what makes it different than like just a smoky tinted acrylic. It's a little bit different. And we sell this in 12 by 12 inches. I think it's inches. Yeah, inches. And then we also have a other size thing. But yeah, you can purchase. You can also buy it from tapsplastics.com. They call it I forgot the name. They called it something else. Do you remember what they called it? Yeah, they called it something else. But we just call it black LED diffusion acrylic. But yeah, it's acrylic. You can cut it on you can score it and snap it to shape, or you can use a bandsaw or a laser cutter. Yeah, we've done a lot of projects with this stuff. We also did a 32 by 32 display, which is, different. It's not NeoPixel LEDs. It's actually RGB LEDs, and it uses the RGB matrix wing. But yeah, we love this stuff. This stuff's great. And we also have a really, really small version, which is the 8x8. But let me drop that for you there. In YouTube and all the places. Yeah. Yeah, this was still one of my favorite projects because it's just like creating your own square pixel display. Of course, the square diffuser is what makes the LED look really nice because it has those grids. Cool. Good stuff. Okay. Well, next week we have we didn't have time, but this is going to be next week's project. It is a Raspberry Pi 4 with a thermal image sensor and the Raspberry Pi camera module. So Liz is doing the Python code so that we can do Raspberry Pi camera image, thermal image on top. I don't have the code here, but next week we'll have it released, I think. So that'll be next week's project. Ooh. Interesting. Thanks. Yep. No problem. Thanks, everybody. We'll skip the show stuff, but we do invite you to come on Show Intel tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Ask Engineer hopefully starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It might shift and adjust, but I think the plan is to do it at the standard times. Tomorrow, we may have a John Park workshop. It's the 3rd. He might take the day off. Not sure.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah.
And CircuitPython Weekly is going to be bi-weekly now. So just tune in to the blog, the Adafruit blog, and the Adafruit Discord server for any showtime changes. But as things change, probably no show on Friday because Friday here in the States, Independence Day, pretty big deal. So everyone's taking the day off. But I think we'll be here back next week with a new project. But until then, remember to make a great day. Bye, everybody.